And it's me again. Today we're going to read Princess Disgrace, third term at Tall Towers. What a bright. Chapter 10, The Library. The three friends found a quiet table in the far corner of the library. Grace reached up for a sparky, gold-covered book called A Princess's Guide to Jewels. At least there's no swimming. I can use the time usefully, she said. She really didn't know anything about which gems are valuable and which are not. If she was going to save Waterloo, she was going to do something very precious indeed. Crash! The book tumbled to the floor. Ouch! Yelped Grace as the heavy book landed on her toe. Quiet! Scolded Fairy Godmother Flint. You may read silently to yourselves. I have 6 farmers to prepare for the department examinations. If I hear any bad reports from Fairy Godmother Webster, there will be trouble. She scowled particularly hard at Grace. Quite so, quite so. The old librarian blinked sleepily as she lifted her head from her desk. Flint wagged her finger at the first years. Not a beep! Grace breathed a sigh of relief as the teacher swept out of the room like an angry black buzzard. At least the mermaids hadn't told her what happened last night. Grace couldn't bear to think what sort of trouble she would be in. Now, there she was hope at least that with Violetta's gifts she could put everything right. Grace and Izumi each took a corner of her Princess Guide to Jewels and headed open the corner. Diamonds are the most valuable stones of all, they read. Then they flicked over the page to look at the pictures of rare pearls that had been harvested on the sea. It was strange to think that by this time tomorrow, Grace might own something precious enough to appear in the pages of this book. Not that I'm going to keep the jewels for myself, she thought. That calmed her a little as she read how diamonds are mined from rocks deep underground. Scarlet, meanwhile, was staring out the window at the sea. Oh well, they're reading a very big book. What are you thinking about? Asked Grace. Scarlet blinked as she had been woken from her dream. Can you two keep a secret? She asked. Of course, said Grace. Izumi nodded and looked up from the book. All the first years were whispering in their own little groups of friends around the room. As long as nobody made too much noise, sleepy old Fairy Godmother Webster wouldn't wake up until the bell rang for the end of the lesson. Shh, Grace warned, putting a finger to her lips. Princess and the twins were on the table just the other side of the bookshelf, peering through the gap where she had taken them the Guide to Jewels. Grace saw the princess grab the latest copy of Throne magazine from the newspaper rack. She was pointing at the pictures of a fancy summer ball and sneering at the outfits the royal guests were wearing. Just look at the Queen of Geldland, Princess nodded. Yellow really isn't her color. She looks like she's fallen in a pot of custard. Twins rocked with laughter. Perfect! Grace knew that being horrid about other outfits could make them happy for hours. It was safe to talk. Go on, she said, smiling at Scarlet. Everything feels so strange at the moment, Scarlet began. It's silly, but that day I dived with the pearls. She hesitated. It was so odd. I never learned to swim, but as soon as I was in the water, I knew what to do. I almost felt like... Like what? Said Grace encouragingly. Like a mermaid, Scarlet whispered, blushing pink in argument. I felt like my feet could stay in the water forever. My legs were tingling, almost like I was growing scales. That's why I'm so afraid. I feel as the sea wants to trap me somehow. Like last night on the beach? Asked Grace. You said it felt like the sea was calling to you. Yes. Scarlet looked close to tears. It's stupid, but I keep checking my toe to see if I'm growing webbed feet or scaly tails. Yuck! There was a scream of laughter behind Grace's head. Grace turned to see Bridget peering through the bookcase. How long had she been listening? Hey, everybody! Scarlet's turning into fish! Bridget squealed. Shh! Said all the first years at once. Be quiet! Hissed Violetta. You wake Fairy Godmother Webster, warned Princess Martin. Scarlet's not turning into a fish, said Grace firmly. If anything, she's more like a mermaid, said Letitia excitedly. She swims like what had been such a beautiful hair. Oh yes, agreed Princess Rosamond. Scarlet would make a gorgeous mermaid. The princess thought they were being kind, but poor Scarlet was squirming in her chair. Being a mermaid would be worse than being a fish, growled Gracious. She was always jealous whenever Scarlet Beautiful red hair was praised. She picked up the copy of Tron magazine and waved it in the air. I don't see anyone here in tail, so it's not as if you could dance with a flipper. Oh, for goodness sake, said Grace. The twins squealed with laughter. Fairy Godmother Webster sat bolt upright and blinked like an owl. What's going on? She asked, looking dazed. Nothing, mumbled the first years, hurrying back to the seats. Everyone opened their books. Before long, the fairy godmother dozed off again, and Princess was happily poking fun at pictures of Queen Fallabran's summer fete. That hat makes her look like she's got flower pot on her head, Princess jeered. I don't think 1 minute you really are turning to a mermaid, whispered Grace, squeezing Scarlet's arm. It's just like Waverly said, some people are drawn to the sea. I know, said Scarlet bravely, and I feel so selfish thinking of myself when poor Waverly might be banished from her home forever. But that won't happen, whispered Izumi. Not now. Violetta had promised Grace a waterfall gift. That will be enough to save Waverly, I'm sure. I hope you're right, said Grace. She stood up and looked out of the window towards the beach. The Southwest Sea was sparkling in the morning sunlight like the brightest gem in the Princess Guide to Jewels. All Grace could do now was wait until tomorrow to see what birthday gift Violetta would bring. Chapter 11. Back to Sail Beach. It was Saturday afternoon, Grace's birthday at last. Scarlet and Izumi had kept whispering to each other all morning. We have something we need to do, they told Grace, and disappeared straight after lunch. Grace had no idea where they had gone. Now she was pacing up and down in the dormitory, bubbling with excitement about her gifts and birthday tea. But she felt sick of worry about Waverly too. Her brain was whirring so fast, she felt as if she might explode like a party popper. There's only one thing for it, she said to herself out loud. She stamped her feet on the long riding boots, grabbed her hard hat, and clattered down the stairs. A good gallop on Billy was the best way to clear her mind. Billy thundered along the edge of the surf, salt sprays flashing up Grace's face as they galloped. Suddenly, the little unicorn skidded to a stop and reared up on his hind. Grace clinged onto his wing. What's the matter, boy? She asked. She was used to Billy's skittering with excitement playing about, but this was way different. She would feel the brave, shaggy unicorn shaking with fear beneath her. His ears were pricked, listening. Grace stood up in her stirrups, straining to hear something too. At first there was some slap of waves and rustle of winds and long rasping guns, but then Grace heard a high wail carried on the wind. Oh! It's only seagull, silly, said Grace, patting Billy's neck as a flock of birds flew above their heads. She squeezed on her legs hard against his sides. Turn on, she said, but Billy wouldn't budge. Oh! The high sad sound came again. This time, Grace knew it wasn't gold. Waverly! She saw the teenage mermaid lying close to the rock where the princess had played the shell game. Are you all right? She asked, sliding down from Billy's back and leading him forward by the reins. Waverly barely lifted her head. Your friends were here just now, she said, over by the rock pool, but they didn't see me. Her blue eyes were pale and dying. Scarlet and Izumi? What are you doing on the beach? Said Grace. I'm not sure, Waverly shrugged. It's funny, isn't it? She said. In stories, mermaids always long to come and live on the land. Yes, agreed Grace, realizing it was true. Ever since Mama had died, she always read bedtime stories to her little sister. One of Pip's favorites was about a mermaid who fell in love with a sailor and wanted to join him on shore. It was another fairy tale with a mermaid and a prince. It's not like that in real life, said Waverly. At least not for me. I love the sea. I love swimming in the waves. I love my family and my underwater home. It must be wonderful, said Grace, her tummy twisting with guilt. Because of her, Waverly might be forced to leave all that behind. Waverly lifted her head, and there was light in her eyes again for a moment. Next year, when I'm old enough, I'm going to enter the 7-ocean endurance race, she said. All the merfolk who take part must swim without stopping. Only time for one full moon until the next. Whoever swims furthest is the champion. I'm sure you would win, said Grace. Remember how fast Waverly had been while she was racing with Lucky Shah in the pool, and how she had been the night she rescued Grace from the waves? Oh, Fairy Godmother Palma made you a special frock, said Scarlet. The two friends pulled a script new navy blue dress over the tops of Grace's head. It's a sailor suit. She caught herself in the mirror. The kind school seamstress has always been fond of Grace. She knew her long, tall measurement off by heart, and the small party dress with a white collar and 4 white buttons was a perfect fit. I don't think I've ever liked a dress as much as this before, Grace beamed. She felt as if she could sail off across the high seas. Now you all need is shoes, said Izumi, Grace glanced longingly at her comfy old riding boots, lying on the heap under the bed where she had just kicked them off. She knew her friend would shriek if she even so much as against those. How about my slippers? She teased. Luckily, they were washed away in the sea, laughed Scarlet. Then I'll have to wear my ballet pumps, smiled Grace. They're the smartest thing I own. She squeezed her feet into the narrow satin shoes. Ow, she squealed. I'm gonna win. They're squishing my toes. You do look pretty, though, smiled Scarlet. Like a prom princess? Asked Grace. Like a tall tower's birthday princess. Charles, Scarlet, and Izumi together. Grace took a last peek in the mirror and did a opposite coastie, which made her friends roar with laughter. Hurry, or we'll be late, said Izumi as the great clock on the tower struck 5. As they dashed down the stairs, they almost caught Violetta coming out of the dormitory. Don't look! I've got your present with me, she said, hiding something behind her back. They couldn't help noticing whatever it seemed very large. Shall I give you a little glue? Grinned Violetta, her eyes sparkling with cheeky joy. She was obviously delighted to be giving the perfect gift. Yes, please, said Grace, more desperate than ever to know what it might be. Let's see now, grinned Violetta. It melts when it made, and makes drops of delight. She dashed away down the twisting staircase. That's the only clue I'm going to give you, she called. Melts when it's made? Whispered Grace. What do you suppose that mean? It might be something gold, said Izumi. They have to melt gold before they can make it to jewelry. Drops of delight certainly sound like gold jewelry to me, said Scarlet. Earrings, perhaps. Golly, gulped Grace, but she felt her heart soar. Fine gold would definitely be enough to please the sea. At last, she could truly relax and enjoy her party. Chapter 13, The Birthday Party. It was a tall tower's tradition for the birthday princesses to walk within 2 rows of classmates as they made an archway for her hands. Don't forget, Flynn had reminded Grace that morning, you must use the special procession walk you learned in my department class. Bend your knees and count to 3 before each step. Yes, Grace promised, but the moment she spotted Fairy Godmother Palm, she forgot all about it. She flung herself forward and flapped across the ballroom like a seagull in the wind. Thank you for my sailor dress. I love it, she cried, spinning in the wobbly circle around the jolly seamstress. My pleasure, pet. Fairy Godmother Palm glowed with pride. It fits you a treat, if I do say so myself. Congratulations on your birthday, Princess Grace, said Lady Juliet. Gosh, thank you. Grace spun around in quite the wrong direction and curtsied to the pillar by mistake. Best wishes, Young Majesty, asked Flynn her sharply without so much as a smile. A great cheer rose up and the entire class burst into chorus of Happy Birthday at the top of their voice. Even Precious was mouthing at the words, at least pretending to join in. Oh, what a big party. With lots of friends. Oh yeah? Scott and Izumi all get it. Grace looked up from the rafters and saw that they were hung with garlands of wildflowers. Over the window, a long white table was laid with delicious-looking party food and big jugs of fresh golden peach juice. Lead the way, smiled Lady Juliet, seeing Grace eyeing her treats. After we have eaten tea, we'll have party games and dancing. And presents, grinned Violetta. I can't wait, smiled Grace. She caught Scarlet's eye as they glanced at the long ballroom where a small silver table was pulled high in the cloud for gifts and packages. Are those all from me? Gasped Grace in surprise. Of course they are, you daft duckling, said Fairy Godmother Palm, handing Grace a golden plate and steering her towards a giant, cuppy jelly shaped like a unicorn. Tuck-in. Grace had never seen party food that looked so wonderful, or tasted so scrumptious ever before. Everything was unicorn-themed. Even the cucumber sandwiches were cut into saddle shapes. Little pink icing horseshoes, biscuits, and pastry unicorn horns filled with wild strawberries, silver sprinkles, and swirls of fresh cream. Yum! Grace shivered with delight as she swallowed a spoonful of chilly pink burger ice cream. There are little marshmallow unicorns sitting in here, she beamed. Just when she thought she couldn't eat another mouthful, class burst into "Happy birthday" again, and four school cooks came down the stairs, carrying an enormous chocolate birthday cake shimmering with candles. It's shaped like a unicorn too, grinned Grace. Not just any unicorn, said Izumi. Look. Grace thought the cake had been decorated to look like Billy, in a white and dark royal chocolate icing to represent his black and bob piebald patches. It's brilliant, she said. Don't forget to make a wish when you blow out the candle, smiled Lady Juliet. Wessa already closing her eyes. Her fingers were crossed tightly behind her back like a good luck. Ah, she blew like the wind. Please let me be able to say verbally, she whispered under her breath. She opened the eyes as every candle flickered and went out. That has to be a good sign, Grace thought. Her spirits soared as darling Izumi led her to dance on the floor. While the cake was being cut, they played musical chairs and danced so much that Grace's feet squashed into her narrow ballet shoes, felt as if they might fall off. And now for the presents, said Lady Juliet when the girls had eaten the slices of rich, delicious chocolate cake. Grace stepped forward. This is it, she thought. She was wobbling worse than a bowl of jelly. Grace decided she would open Violetta's gift first. She couldn't bear the suspense of a moment longer. But Precious pushed forward. Open mine, she said, snatching a small package from the back of the stack. She seemed very excited, and for a moment, Grace wondered as the gift something special her aunt and uncle had brought for her. One look, a smile on Precious' face made her guess differently, though. Her cousin only ever got to look when she was about to get something mean. Happy birthday, said Precious, holding the small crumpled package wrapped in a lined paper that looked like it had been torn from one whole school books. This night might make you a bit more princessy if you really try. Thank you, said Grace, intrigued. She couldn't be surprised if Precious grabbed up a frog or toad, but as she took in the crinkled paper, she saw a grubby wooden comb. It was old and used and chipped at one end. Precious had probably found it on one floor or under a bed somewhere. I thought it might be nice if you actually brushed your hair before school, sneered Precious, roaring with laughter. The twins squealed with delight. The gift was meant as a cruel joke, but Grace was delighted. This was just what I needed, she grinned, holding the comb for everyone to see. The wooden teeth looked really strong. I've been searching everywhere for just the right thing to get the knots out of Billy's mane. It's perfect, Precious, thank you. You're welcome, scolded Precious, fearless that her insult hadn't worked. The twins giggled even harder as Grace opened a bag of pouring flame-bound hair clips from them. They were obviously supposed to go with the comb. These will be really useful too, said Grace truthfully. She was forever losing hair clips and always ran out by the end of term no matter how many she had. Open hours next. Something a bit more fun, said Latisha, and as she and the Princess Martin tossed a huge round package around the air. Fantastic! Cried Grace. It was a giant beach ball. I can't wait to play with this in the pool. Princess Emmeline and Princess Christabel had got a bright red hay net to hang in Billy's table. Princess Rosamond gave her a book of unicorn stories, and Princess Juliet had chosen a big bottle of pomegranate bubble bath with a unicorn-shaped spawn as well. Thank you for such perfect presents, said Grace. I'm surprised you don't turn into a unicorn, said Precious sulkily, looking down at pile of thoughtful gifts everyone crowded around. Mine doesn't have anything to do with unicorns at all, Violetta announced. Why don't you open it next way? I know you want to save Scarlet Izumi till last they were best friends, she smiled kindly. Ours nothing really, said Scarlet, pointing to a tiny blue box nestled among the few presents that were left. Grace saw that she was biting her lips. She wondered if Scarlet was nervous about her own gift or terrified that the present from Violetta would not be enough to save verbally after all. Good thing often comes in small packages, said Lisa. Not always, gulped Izumi. Violetta had lifted out a huge red velvet box as squat as a tea tray. Happy birthday, Grace, she grinned. I hope this is what you want. Oh, this is all I'm going to read. It's so exciting. It's called Cliffhanger to know what Violetta's gift is, but not now. See you next time. Bye.